So what I'm going to do right now is we're going to do the special flight rules transition out of here. So how many people have flown the special flight rules transition on PilotEdge or in real life, but I guess on PilotEdge? And how many people have never even heard of the special flight rules transition? Because I can either talk about it more or gloss over it and just rip through it. I think so, John. Yeah, I mean that would be in my MO to videotape it, but yeah. Let's see, hopping off. Okay, cool. Sounds good, Vitol. Thank you so much, man. We'll link everything once you get it done. Teach us. Familiar with it, but haven't flown it yet myself. Awesome. Yeah, ForeFlight is set up here for the sim, so we're ready to go. Okay, so Instructor Bill is going to come out and teach you guys how to do the special flight rules transition. You would say that, Arnold, too. I love this. Before I actually get into it. Oh, Squirrel put one up. Okay. So the thing that I love about the special flight rules transition is that it's a lot easier than you would imagine that it is. But once you get the hang of it, it's really fun. It's a really good transition to get around SoCal for the types of planes that I fly. And it's mainly because of the altitude. So before really being comfortable with it, you would kind of either do the mini route, which is not open in real life, or the coastal route, which is a lot higher for these planes. And in some circumstances, it just does not make any sense. If you're leaving Van Nuys going to John Wayne, you don't want to take the coastal route, which is why I helped push Keith into eliminating that as the Cat 10 rating, because it made no sense. It was not an intuitive flight. You wouldn't plan that flight like that. So digging into the special flight rules is kind of fun because because the altitude, Gecko. Yeah, so if you're at it's kind of hard to show this, but if you're at Van Nuys, which is right up here, and you want to go to the coastal route, which is these lines right here, those magenta arrows, maroon arrows, that's the coastal route. So you need to fly from whatever, what's the AGL right here, 807 feet. So we'll round it up to 1,000. You need to get from there to 5,500 feet in the span of 6.8 miles. So you've got 4,500 feet in 7 miles, and that's just not going to work. You'd have to circle to get up there. Whereas going 3,500 on the special flight rules, you can just drop down and you're good to go. Oh, it was PilotEdge? Oh, got it. Okay. And since I come out of Santa Monica, it's even worse. Yeah, you would not want to do this you would not want to go coastal route out of Santa Monica. It would yeah, no. No. Okay, so the way you find out about the coastal route is on the TAC chart. This is the TAC chart, and if you go over here to the edge of the TAC chart, you have all of the transitions for the LAX Bravo. And 4 out of the 5 are positive control transitions. The other one is the special flight rules, which is no controlling. X0 7 Delta 3, thank you very much for following. Welcome aboard. So what does that mean? These transitions that you see right here are all on with approach. So you're talking to ATC during these transitions right here. And the key differentiating feature between all these transitions is the altitudes. the mini route here, we'll just cancel. We'll pretend like that one doesn't exist because it's not really used. Well, here's what I'm going to do. It's on the tack chart, but in ForeFlight you can go into documents and you can get the actual tack supplement, which is right here, and you can see that I've got all of the same transitions here. Here the mini route opens for a period of 30 minutes every third summer solstice. Yeah. So these are the transitions just in separate form. So this is where you can, it's a little bit easier to show here. So Coliseum route, this is at 85 or 9,500 feet. This is really great if you're transitioning the Bravo coming from San Diego, for example.
Hey, bird. Whoa, buddy.
Sears John, thank you so much for the subscription. I really appreciate that, man. Welcome aboard. Thank you very much for the support, guys. It honestly, the subscriptions help. I've got some big trips planned, and the subscriptions do help make those flights happen. So I really do appreciate that. I put it to use. So and share it with you guys, obviously. So hopefully I'll turn that subscription into avgas, which will then turn into a video, which will then turn into something to show on stream and talk about. Yeah, the mini route has been open a lot more lately. All right, so 8,500, 9,500 feet. If you're anywhere in this area, you're not climbing up to that. Oh, Cirrus John, Jesus freaking hell, man. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs to Airplane Pilot Simming, Mike Zulu Hotel, Pip's Dad, Basil, and Whitey. Thank you so much, Cirrus John. That's awesome. That is awesome. I'm excited for the weekend too, Bird Girl. Yeah. Seriously, Sean, that's awesome, man. I appreciate that a lot. So Coliseum route, Hollywood Park is at the same altitude, just different angle. Again, if you're in SoCal, that's not helping you out. If you're in San Diego or Santa Barbara and transitioning between those two, then this might work for that. So that is another one. Here's the mini route. This doesn't exist. Don't plan on getting this. So we'll just cross that out. That's just not. You're not getting this. Sorry.
Pull up. Pull
no one's getting this. Coaster route is dead. It's not actually dead, but just for planning purposes, you're not going to get it. Mr. Tangible, thank you very much for following. Welcome aboard. Let's get back our little 5-pointer there. 4 points, fine. And then you've got the coastal route. Coastal route is a much more reasonable 5,500 to 6,500 feet and has 2 radials that you fly off LAX, the LAX VOR. It's very simple. When the altitudes actually work, this transition is very, very, very easy because you got 2 frequency changes in 1 radial. It's really quiet, it's really mellow, and it's great. I love this transition, but it's just a function of the altitudes being appropriate for your flight. John, I will, man. Yeah, I will put it to very, very good use. Okay, so there's the coaster route. I'm gonna clear that. Now we have the special flight rules transition. I think I have done either a video or streamed this at least 15 times, which is a lot, because there's a lot to unpack on this. So I will give you the basic rundown of the key parts of this transition, and we'll fly it. And I hope that if you have any questions, you'll answer and be able to follow along. Because if you even if you're not on PilotEdge, because the great thing about this transition is you can do it with no ATC, or I mean there is no ATC, so you can do this transition on your own without air traffic control, and you can practice it. It's cool, and really, if you don't live in LA and you're looking at this and thinking this is not applicable to me because I am not in the LA airspace, most Bravos will have something similar to this. Maybe I shouldn't say most Bravos. A lot of Bravos will have kind of a tack chart transition similar to this. In some cases, Vegas has one, New York's got one, DC's got one, I think. But going through this one with, following along here might help you learn how to read the transition rules and how to interpret some of them, because there is some stuff here that's up for interpretation that you might want to consider when you're planning your own flight, either in the real world or in the simulator. So it's really, you got to read everything on here and understand what everything is, and it doesn't take that long because it's not a lot of stuff here. But I missed a couple things on here that I hope I'll be able to point out to you guys that will help make this a little bit easier. So just looking at the view here, and I'll just kind of highlight kind of as we go, just looking at the chart here, identifying what we have on this chart. You've got the Bravo altitudes right here all called out. You've got the Santa Monica Delta, you've got the LAX Delta, which is a whole different thing. Here's the Hawthorne Delta, here's the Bravo, LAX Bravo. So you've got all these altitudes that you're looking at here, and you've got 3,500 feet and 4,500 feet depending on which direction you're going, whether you're going northbound or southbound. So all of these altitudes, you can see you got 27, 25, 25, 5, 25, 27. At 35 or 45, you're all clear of all that airspace. So if you're at the correct altitudes, you don't have to worry about any of this airspace. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, you notice that you've got this line right here, and this is the 132 radial off the Santa Monica VOR. And that is the spine of this transition, is the 132 Santa Monica radial. There is a small caveat to this, and it depends on if you're in the simulator or in the real world how you want to navigate this, but there is some conflicting and interesting verbiage on this transition that will make it very easy for you potentially. Okay, so you've got the lateral and you've got the vertical. Here is the surface area of the Bravo. This is the important part, because this is actually where you're going to be entering Class Bravo airspace, not talking to anybody. So this is the part that you really have to pay attention. Anything outside of this space arguably is not as important. This is the important part right here. So keep that in mind as well, that if you are doing something that's a little bit loose, you want to make sure that you're tight here would be my recommendation. But anyway, that is the important things to note when you're looking at this. Then it's time to read, and this is where it starts getting interesting. So up here, I am going to come back to this, but it's important because there's information that appears multiple times. The same information appears multiple times. So altitude is one of them. Altitude's here. Altitude is here. Altitude is here. I think there's another spot where altitude shows up. And then altitude is down here. So they really want you to make sure you know what altitude you're going to be at. So if we go down here, it says, I'll read this. The following rules shall be adhered to when utilizing the Los Angeles Special Flight Rules area. The flight must be conducted under VFR and only when operation may be conducted in compliance with Section 91-155. The aircraft must be equipped and specified in Section 91-215, replying on code 1201. So that's the first thing you got to know, is that we're squawking 120.1. I prefer the SFRA in a lot of cases in the clouds, but the coastal route is very, very easy. Yeah, we are about to fly. So yeah, I'll brief this and then we'll actually fly it so you can see it in action, because those are two very different things. Seeing it in action and hearing what happens is very important. So 120.1 is our beacon code. Pilots shall have a current LA TAC chart in the aircraft. That's easy. Pilots shall operate on Santa Monica VOR on the 132 Radial. Aircraft navigating southeasterly direction shall be in level flight at 3,500 feet. And then northeasterly or northwesterly at 4,500 feet. Indicated airspeed shall not exceed 140 knots. And then the very, very bottom, anti-collision lights and aircraft position nav lights shall be on. Use of landing lights is recommended. Turbojet aircraft are prohibited from VFR operations in this area. Okay. So that's kind of a lot, but again, we talked about the altitudes. We've got the radial, we know that. We've got the beacon code, we know that. So those are the key things. If you just read those, you'd be totally fine. But this is something that I didn't see until having done this a couple of times. So this is saying that the lateral limits are Manchester Boulevard to the north, Imperial Highway to the south, San Diego Freeway to the east, and the Pacific Ocean shoreline to the west. So the altitude is 35 and 45, and then the lateral limits are Manchester, Imperial Highway, 405, and the coast. So this is technically the transition. You can see that this dissects that pretty much right down the middle, but this is the lateral limits. They want you to be on that radial unless you're passing, but it is freaking huge. And there is no terminology, there's no wording in here that says you need to be on this radial. The lateral limits are the coast and the 405. Those are the lateral limits. I don't think I've flown this in the real world without being on the radial, but you can be outside. I've heard guys that are coming over the refinery, coming over Marina del Rey, kind of skirting along here. As long as you're not over the ocean or on the east side of the 405, you're good to go. But what I do is I use the entire transition just based on the kind of flying that I do in here. So what I will actually do is when I get let loose by SoCal, which is usually around the Long Beach area, I will announce either over Long Beach or a Beam Torrance, and I fly all the way on that radial and I cancel here. So that's how I actually do it, and I try to stick to that radial, but you technically don't have to, except on your long cross country when you pass the icon on the west side of the tower. Gecko, well, dude, that's actually the first reference to a really old video I think I've ever had. That's awesome. Yeah, do not be on the east side of the 405. I fly the radial too. I hear a lot of VPLSR Santa Monica. Yeah. I fly the radial. I want that to be perfectly clear. I fly the Radial, but when you're in the simulator or just in general, you shouldn't be flying and tracking that Radial perfectly in such a congested area. Be looking for traffic. If you're off that Radial, who cares? There's no flight following. You're on Unicom. Be looking out for traffic. Don't be trying to hold a Radial. So I don't know how much of a factor that is for that lateral limit discussion, but it is an important thing to remember when you are VFR, that just be aware of 405 and the freeway. Kind of split the difference between the two, have the Radial dialed up, and you'll be totally fine. So that is a super long-winded explanation of the Special Flight Rules transition. So let's enter the plane again. We're going to be on Hawthorne Tower. Okay, and then I want to be on the Santa Monica Radial. So documentation will clear this out, which is on 110.8. So I'm going to go to, we'll flip this.
Santa Barbara Tower, Skyhawk 172 Whiskey Delta, holding short at 4 runway
And then go
25
8.
at Julia.
Number 172 Whiskey Delta, Santa Barbara Tower, runway 25, cleared for takeoff.
Why am I doing that? Kind of push that. 8. There we go. Flip that. Okay, and then we're going to be on tower. We're not going to get flight following, so I'm going to go to... the other thing is the frequency, the Unicom frequency is 2855 right there. I fly the Radial too here. Oh yeah, box. Yeah, I'll just do a little box climb. I feel like I'm LA ground school. That's very flattering. So 2855. It's right here. And if there's any appetite for seeing or hearing this done in the real world, let me know and I will play that back if you want. Okay, so there is that, and we're gonna squawk 1200 for right now, and we are ready to go. 132 Radial, almost ready to go. So 132, I'm gonna do the reciprocal because we're gonna be flying towards it. So 132, right about there. Okay.
Bracket Tower, 431 Juliet Papa holding short to 6 left at Bravo, requesting IFR departure.
This was the longest run-up ever.
Juliet Papa, Bracket Tower, runway 26 left, cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 431 Juliet Papa.
Okay, so we're just gonna do a little box climb here. Hawthorne Tower, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo, holding short, runway 25. We're gonna request a box climb for the Special Flight Rules transition northbound.
Number 204 Lima Echo, Hawthorne Tower, hello. Left box approved, runway 25, cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 25, left box approved, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo, thanks. I love it. They're so happy. PilotEdge, they're just
approaching runway 25.
super happy to be helping out here.
Entered runway 25.
All right, we are going to depart the beautiful VTOL Aviation Hawthorne. It looks beautiful. And full power. And this is very easy. We've had so many discussions about people talking about, you know, well, why can't we use the mini route? Well, it's closed. Well, what should we do? Do we, you know, like it's just really simple. This is a simple solution to transitioning in airspace like this. You just climb up. So we're gonna keep this a pretty large box pattern here.
The 6 Tango Papa, taxi Alpha to park.
Just think of the Radial as a force field. If you go
Number 431 Juliet Papa. I'm sure
Outside
you
the
on
boundaries of
your
that
assigned
radial,
code.
you
Mark
get
your
shot
assigned,
down.
please.
All right, so we got to keep a really, really nice climb here. I don't want to climb fast, so we're gonna keep.
Electronics.
This thing does not climb out like normal. Like
Departure. Have a good one.
VX, VY are not really accurate in this thing. Are the stream? Yeah, I'm showing the frame rate pretty good.
Short of 221 at Bravo ready takeoff.
Number 914 Golf Bravo, Center Mile Tower, low room at 21, clear for
This
takeoff.
does not
Clear takeoff 21, 914 Golf Bravo.
does not climb out. Fine leaning them. Yeah, I was just doing that same thing, just like lean it out a little bit. Yeah, I've got OBS set for like ultimate priority, and it's still not optimized yet for Microsoft is just doing something weird with permissions and orders and stuff. I don't know. I mean, this is a very frame heavy area, so something's gonna suffer. And I'm still on my old GPU. That will get updated at some point shortly, but 1066 gig trying to stream and run this at the same time is causing some stutters, but it's not too bad. So 2,500 feet is the airspace here for Hawthorne. We won't be in that for much longer. I mean, this is a good climb. Yeah, I'm not in a rush to spend that much money, Harry, so it's gonna be, I'm fine with waiting for sure, but this is what we gotta deal with for now. God, you guys did such a good job on that airport. It looks really good.
914 Golf Bravo, connect SoCal departure.
Coming up on 2,000.
Thanks, have a good night.
Nothing of volunteering, but someone needs to go fund a 3090. Dude, that is so overkill. 3090 is so overkill. I'll take a crowdfunded 3080 though. Save like $700. Yeah, Bitcoin mining, wall streaming. That would be excellent. You gotta be careful doing this because you're gonna butt right up against the LAX Bravo there.
Torrent Tower, Arc 7 Charlie, Lima 600, going miss.
So this really is not too difficult. We're staying within Hawthorne airspace. Hawks, I have like a partial another computer link. So that's my goal is once I update the GPU, I'll probably have a streaming PC.
134.9er, good day.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't have anything currently laying around. But yeah, offloading it onto a streaming
Number
PC.
2040 America, have a spectacular time in the special flight rules area. Frequency change approved.
Frequency change approved. We will. Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo. See ya! Nice. All right, we are out of their airspace. We are still climbing. Yeah, that's the plan. I mean, I'm sure that with a 3080 it would be fine to do both, but I have everything for
all
us.
traffic in the area, please advise.
I have everything to build another computer after that upgrade, so I'll just put together another computer. Shouldn't be too bad. I'm gonna extend this little box climb. We'll stay out of the what do you call it? Torrance airspace, but we'll still don't have to climb directly over Hawthorne necessarily. Stay in the climb. This is not ideal. Coming out of Hawthorne, this is not ideal, but God, it's way better than going around, or I don't know. I don't know what else you would do. I will, Hawks, I will let you know for sure. I'm sure I will need help at some point. It's a lot of router port forwarding and software config. Huh. It's not just a capture card? Do you not are you not doing it over a capture card? Alright, we are less than 1,000 feet away from our altitude. I think we're maxed out there. 4,000. You can, but if you want to save money, you can do it on your network. Interesting. Four box climbs to get to 4,500. All right, we're at. I mean, this is a big box, but we're at 2 right now. So two's pretty good. Never flown out of Hawthorne, but Santa Monica, you typically depart towards the coast, and then when you hit the shoreline, make a wide right to 270 as you climb to 35. Yeah, that's a pretty simple one. Big boy box. All right, we are right there. So I'll show you what this radial looks like. We'll get rid of 4 flight for now. Special flight rules: traffic Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo 4,500 northbound, just south of Hawthorne. Special flight rules. Same for me, Draconis. Yeah, I would like to go to Santa Monica sooner than later. So I'm just going to fly out to the coast. We are right over what is basically the entrance of the transition, which is the Hawthorne 4. Right over the 405 Hawthorne interchange, which is right here. So that's kind of where the transition starts. So we're a little bit inside that. Whoop, we're climbing. We're a little bit inside that. But now the radial is coming in. Right there, you can see radial coming in. And we can turn onto it right now. Special flight rules: traffic Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo 4,500 northbound, approaching Imperial Highway. Special flight rules. We're gonna make sure we squawk 1201. Gotta get this friggin' thing trimmed. No kidding. Got a 2080 and I have to game on 1660 on mostly high with 200 on both settings that go to that detail entries. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, it's just not optimized at all. All lights on. There we go. God, I really need to trim this thing out better. Holy crap. There we go. All right, I'm a little inside of the radial, but as you can see, I am inside of the coast, and the 405 is 405 is right there. So we're inside both of those lateral limits. So that was our first call, is approaching Imperial Highway. Whoa, that's sketchy, Ryan. I'm obviously glad everything worked out okay. And there's the radial. Man, this thing is like not trimmed out well at all. Can fix that. Okay. Next call. Special flight rules: traffic Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo 4,500 over the LAX North LAX complex. Special flight rules. Turns out flying over the runway is the safest place. Yeah, it does. How does this not interfere with day-to-day ops at LAX? Well, you're way out of it. Sirius John, thank you again so much for the host. Yeah, you're totally clear of anything that they're doing. I mean, you got to be careful if someone's going around, but yeah, you're totally fine. Special flight rules traffic, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo 4500 approaching Bologna Creek. Special flight rules. I am not actually at that altitude. Come on, altitude, get on there. There it is. Okay. Yeah, so there is Loyola Marymount, and there is Bologna Creek right there. And Monterey, Marina Del Rey, sorry, is right down there. Yeah, you're way clear of it. Sirius John, thank you for the bits, man. I appreciate that as well. Happy Little Friday, man. Next stop, Waypoint Cafe. Special flight rules traffic, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo 4500 approaching Santa Monica. Last call, special flight rules. So Santa Monica is about where I let go of the transition and then turn right towards Pacific Palisades. And by the way, this is where Santa Monica is. So I try to call out approaching rather than at or above. It just gives other pilots that might be listening time to kind of look out. If I say I'm approaching Santa Monica and they're looking, by the time they spot me, hopefully I'm actually over Santa Monica, versus if I'm over Santa Monica and they're looking at Santa Monica, just kind of naturally I might be already past it and it might be too late. So I try to just preemptively call out, you know, approaching when I'm getting close. And then now I've had Draconis, I'm sure you've probably experienced the same thing, like the worst time contacting the right approach frequency out of here. It ends up being like, nah, actually contact these guys. I'm like, God damn it, okay, fine, whatever. Like every time. So 25.2, we'll try 25.2. This is just the Santa Monica frequencies. So 25.2. Switch that over, and we'll squawk VFR 200. Awesome, homie. Yeah, I hope it will too, man. Yeah, I'm glad you're going for it. That's awesome. Legit question from here: if I wanted to fly low along the coast, contact LA Center. Dude, you just go no flight following, honestly. Just go VFR. Yeah, which we've done that. I mean, we've been at double digit feet above the water out there. Yeah. This makes Eastern LI, I don't know what LI airspace look like a free-for-all. Prompted that last question. Yeah, so many SoCal approaches to choose from. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Long Island. Okay, got it. Yeah. Got it. Awesome. Yeah, absolutely, John. I appreciate that, dude. Thank you so much. All right, let's see if we can tag up here with SoCal. SoCal approach. Good evening, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo 4500 over Pacific Palisades.
Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo SoCal approach. Squawk 304 tree. Ident Burbank altimeter 2987.
3043 Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo.
Sky 4 Lima Echo, radar contact,
Pull up.
Awesome. Like flight following to Camarillo, present altitude, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo.
Sky 4 Lima Echo, roger.
Flying Master Chef. Sorry, I almost said Master Chief. Flying Master Chef, thank you so much for following. Welcome aboard.
Number 1, Juliet Papa, contact SoCal approach 1.
We are taking flight simulation way too seriously over here, so hopefully you're in for some serious aviation nerd out right now.
Sky 4 Lima Echo, how long are you going to be on this heading? Are you going to turn to Camarillo or stay?
Yeah, we were just turning direct to Camarillo right now, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo.
Yep.
SoCal approach, Port 31 Juliet Papa 8000.
No, 431 Juliet Papa.
This is the route that I took for my solo cross-country flight, and it's great doing this in the sim. I love being able to look out where you're going, and if you practice this in the sim, you can see that all you got to do is aim for the right side of that little peak, kind of that bigger peak right there, and the left side of that distant one that's right in the middle, and it's super easy. You know, vectors are great and nav logs are awesome and wind correction angles and stuff, but if you're able to do this in the sim ahead of time and pick some actual landmarks that you can point your nose at, it makes it so much easier to do. Serious John, thank you so much, dude. Friggin' cheers. Let's see. Yeah. Am I leaned out enough here? It's a little mountainous through here. It's a tiny bit sketchy for, you know, if you were to have an engine out. But one thing that I will tell you is that if we were to have an engine out right here at this altitude, what would be a good option? What would be a good option? There's two options that I would pick from right here. I'm sure Ryan and Draconis would be able to pick out the two best options right here. It may. Okay, so Draconis would say 101. So yeah, that would be one that I would pick. Would definitely be the 101. And we are, but I ultimately, if I lost it right now, I wouldn't pick the 101 because we are too close to the 101 on the glide distance there. It's too close. It's just on the edge of being able to make it. So that might not be the best, but the best spot right here is the 1 or just off the coast. That would be my bet. And from here, it looks like you've got some terrain and that you might not be able to hit the coast, but that is a great demonstration of how useful that glide ring can be on ForeFlight. Oh, John, you are the man, dude. Happy Little Friday.
We are VFR on the Skyway to function. Skyway 273, Bravo Mike.
Gecko, you're a student pilot as well. Awesome.
Restriction.
Awesome.
Okay, over normal altitude and navigation.
Yeah, it's somewhere pretty close here, actually. Yeah, where is it? Yeah, so just for like bearings, Kobe went down right around here. I don't know the exact spot. I have not even bothered to look, but it's somewhere in this area. So it is not happy terrain, but because we're at an appropriate altitude, our glide range gets us away. Did I miss another sub? Oh, that was those are actually YouTube subscriptions. Believe it or not, I had for some reason it connected to my YouTube channel, and I never disconnected it. So if someone subscribes to the YouTube channel during the stream, it pops up. Yeah, the train. Yeah, the 101 is right here. So it's like just off the 101. It's like somewhere in there. It's crazy. Super creepy to think about. Let's get set up for the Camarillo ATIS, which is 2605. I'm gonna pretend. We'll get the digital ATIS. So you have ATIS CMA. I'll be gone till November. I be gone till November.
Destination ATIS is 126.025.
Yeah, I don't know either, man. It's super crazy. It's really not good. Get there, itis. We probably have one more frequency to go. PilotEdge is kind of hit or miss on Point Magoo. And it is 24/7. That's right, 24.7. It's one of those frequencies that I just always remember because it was, like my solo cross country. I remember so much of that flight. 24/7 is one of the memories from that. All right, after this flight, if anybody is interested in doing a little group multiplayer flight just in Microsoft, let's do that. I haven't loaded up in a bush plane in a while, and I could go for some scooting around bush plane style. And then, okay, it's 24/7. Let's see. So I'm gonna tell Approach that I've got the weather, and that usually prompts something. SoCal Approach, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo. We have information November at Camarillo.
Skyhawk Lima Echo, thanks for that, and you can contact Point Magoo Approach 124.7.
24/7 204 Lima Echo. Thanks. That usually happens. Yeah, anybody can join. Yep. Point Magoo Approach, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo, 4,500. We have November at Camarillo.
Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo, Point Magoo Approach, altimeter 2985, thanks for that.
2985 for Lima Echo. Tower is 28.2. 28.2. Okay.
Number 3 Bravo Mike, contact SoCal Approach 135.4.
Thank you everybody that has joined the Discord. I haven't mentioned the Discord at all, but Sirius John, thank you. Cat Argo, Phantom Pilot, Z-Bob, Cadet Guy, Flying Swede, Gynaman, Valley Simtech, It's Henry, Zero. Thank you guys so much for joining. The Discord has been so fantastic lately. We're almost at 1,000 members on the Discord. We're so close, which is amazing, and it's a huge testament to everybody that's currently in the Discord, because you've created such an awesome environment that people have wanted to join and come back to, because it's very active. So if you are at any level learning flight simulation, learning real world flying, there are so many awesome resources in the Discord for any question. Instructors, air traffic controllers, PilotEdge controllers, sim pilots, web developers, game developers. I mean, all kinds of stuff to help you out. So please join if you haven't already, because I think you really like it. Give it a shot. If you don't, you can sneak out. No one will notice. It's totally fine. So yeah, thank you to everybody that that has joined. It's a huge point of pride in of mine to have that Discord server be as large as it is, growing every day, and as useful for so many people. So thank you. I love this airport so much. It's so great. Yeah, I did my solo cross country flight. Special flight rules transition northbound. Coastal route. Special flight rules northbound. Coastal route southbound. I had 12 hours of total time when I did that flight. That was crazy. So awesome. All because I did it like a million times.
767 Charlie Lima, clear track Lima, cross Lima at above 3000, cleared on runway 24 approach.
Cross Lima at above 3000, clear RNAV 24 approach, 7 Charlie Lima.
And Sky 7 Charlie Lima, there's traffic, 12 o'clock, 5 miles southbound, VFR alticates 2500, type unknown.
We'll be looking for
we
the
need to
traffic,
think
7
of a
Charlie
place
Lima.
to go fly a little bit.
Do you have information in November for Camarillo?
Affirmative. We have November Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo.
Thank you, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo. Contact Camarillo Tower 128.2.
Party pilot, thanks for following. Welcome aboard. And we are 282 Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo. Thanks. See ya.
CBM 456 Tango Papa. Contact SoCal departure.
Yeah, I do. I live in the SoCal area. My home airport is John Wayne.
SoCal departure, Skyhawk 172 Whiskey Delta, 7500.
Skyhawk 172 Whiskey Delta, SoCal approach, Burbank altimeter 287, advise you have Delta.
287, and you have to have Delta 172 Whiskey Delta.
Skyhawk 172 Whiskey Delta, thanks.
Yeah, we were ready to go, man.
6 miles is a
Yeah, I mean, PilotEdge helped so much to do that. We were just, I mean, I soloed at 5 hours or 6, it was like 6 hours or whatever, but yeah, I mean, it was just ready to go.
And last care calling, I was transmitting, you kind of stepped on me, but go ahead and say again.
Yeah, TBM 456 Tango Papa, on the heading of 255 at 3000.
TBM 456 Tango Papa, SoCal departure radar contact, resume navigation, maintain appropriate VFR altitude, the Los Angeles altimeter 2987.
2987, maintain on altitude 266.
Scott, 2 Whiskey Delta, correction, Scott 204 Lima Echo. Camera Tower, you with me?
Yeah, Camaro Tower, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo. We've got information November over the Conejo grade. We're inbound full stop.
Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo, make sure to runway 26, wind 1203, runway 26, clear to land.
Clear to land straight in, runway 26, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo. Thanks.
Skyhawk 273 Bravo Mike, did you have information Echo for forward?
Head in the clouds. I just studied really, really hard. I mean, I had 400 hours on PilotEdge before I did that. You know, just practicing the actual flights in the plane. You know, I never flew airliners. I didn't do, you know, I just wasn't goofing around in the simulator. I just was hammering out flights, briefing, debriefing, doing it again, you know, just like over and over and over again.
Skyhawk 273 Bravo Mike,
and you know, by the time I got into the plane, it was just like, okay, where are the buttons at? How does it feel to land? And
Skyhawk 204 Lima, how do you read this transmitter?
Loud and clear for Lima Echo.
Thanks, Bill.
You're welcome. So, you know, it's just like
Skyhawk 767 Lima, contact Fullerton Tower 119.1.
It's just practice, you know, and the right kind of practice. But yeah, I mean, I had navigation, I had airspace, I had emergency procedures, I had radio communication. All of it was down. I just had it all ready to go. So by the time we got into the plane, it was just like, I mean, from the Discovery flight, I was on the radios the entire time at John Wayne from the Discovery flight. And then my first lesson, I was on the radio teaching my instructor about the airspace in SoCal. And then it was just progressive from there. We did the Camarillo flight one-time duel. And he didn't, I mean, I'm teaching him how to do the transition, and he was just like, dude, this is perfect. This is awesome. Landings were good. All right, engine goes out here. Where do you land? I'm like, over there. Cool. Okay, what happens if this happens? I'm like, okay, I flip that and move that, go to the checklist. I was all right. Well, there's no point in just
final runway
flying around in circles for some arbitrary reason. Let's just go do it.
431 Juliet Papa, contact Flamingo approach 124.7.
People have varying opinions on that when I mention it, but when it's ultimately up to the instructor, it's his whatever it's called, it's his cert on the line. So you line turns towards the ravine. I mean, just everything is so gray.
Take that 5,000-foot shelf, but now that you're out of it, remain outside.
Yeah, head in the cloud. 5 hours at John Wayne too. I mean, it was like caution await turbulence every other landing. It's crazy.
Down 431 at Juliet Papa Flamingo approach the Oxnard altimeter 2985. 851 Juliet Papa.
Alright, let's try to make this first taxiway here. I'm embarrassed I've never been to Camarillo. You should be embarrassed. You should be embarrassed. Party pilot, I am very proud of my early progression at first, but really, it doesn't matter. It didn't, I mean, it's like it's a cool story as a promotion of flight simulation.
He's not talking to me.
But other than that, just like it does not matter.
273 Bravo Mike, SoCal approach.
And after that, like we had some insurance hang-ups for me finishing my private, so it ended up taking longer than it would have. I mean, I probably would have been pretty close to 40 hours, but at that point, I was like, I don't care. Like, it doesn't, the time does not matter. I just want to be a pilot. I just want to fly.
7 Charlie, let me stick out that traffic in sight.
So who cares? I mean, it's like, did you solo? Yep, I did. Awesome. Did you get your license? Yep, I did. Even more awesome. It's really just a testament to if you do it in the right way, it can be incredibly useful.
And he went non-responsive.
Incredibly useful.
Thanks.
Nuke Dukem, what's up? Well, John, thank you, man. I really appreciate that, dude. That's awesome. I will have some very early footage for you then. Hopefully by this weekend. I'm really excited for the next video. Really excited. It's pretty different, but it's got some cool stuff for sure. Camarillo Tower, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo, clear at 26 at Bravo. We are heading to Waypoint Cafe.
Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo, taxi to the cafe via Bravo Foxtrot, main street. Good night.
Bravo Foxtrot, we'll stay with you. Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo, see ya.
SoCal approach.
No.
273 Bravo.
Yeah, Camarillo does look like Camarillo. There's a couple of goofy things about it, like the restaurant.
273 Bravo Mike. Been trying to get a hold of you for the last 5 minutes, sir.
The restaurant does not look great, but it's a very simple flat airport, so it's.
Oh yeah, you gotta let me know if you're gonna leave frequency, sir.
It's pretty easy.
Roger that. We'll try it again. Appreciate it.
To get this to look nice.
Bravo Mike.
Yeah. It's interesting Nuke. It has its moments when it is absolutely
273 Bravo Mike,
stunningly
contact forward to
gorgeous,
tower.
and it has moments where it's
over to
completely
towers.
broken and unusable
Bravo
as a
Mike.
flight simulator. And that is, I have identified,
Tower,
at least for
Skyhawk
me,
273 Bravo Mike over
the
State
planes and the
College, inbound
situations
landing.
that
Skyhawk
are
273
good,
Bravo Mike, Fullerton Tower,
and
information
I'm
actually
staying away
current.
from the
Make
ones
sure
that are
to
not good.
2443 mile final.
If it has a jet or advanced avionics, I am going nowhere near
Echo
it.
and,
But if it's steam gauge and piston powered and small,
TBM 456 Tango Papa,
I'm all about it, and it looks awesome. It's really, really good.
128.1, 6 single Papa.
Yeah, any instrument, IFR, jets, airliners, turbine, all of it is completely sucks.
SoCal approach.
It's not even worth doing.
Papa at 5,500.
Any of the bush planes,
TBM
the
456
Cub,
Papa, SoCal approach.
the
Gauge
152.
off
152 is my favorite plane. This is the 172, the steam gauge 172, which is actually pretty great, but it's one of the premium planes, so not everybody has it.
Scott 172 Whiskey Delta, contact Burbank Tower, 118.
But yeah, I just stay away from any of the crap. Yeah. Well, it's just not the airline stuff is just not interesting to me.
The published missed approach procedure, contact SoCal departure 128.1.
I love the GA stuff so much. I would much rather do this than fly around in an airliner. But I will eventually, like, once they get it fixed or get a new plane or something that actually works, we'll do something for sure. There's the restaurant. Yeah, it's really not that bad of a scenery,
Back 172
honestly.
STL, Burbank Tower, make sure to runway 8 clear to land, wind is 1005.
So there's the restaurant right in there. It's not too bad.
Fullerton Towers, this is Skyhawk, 3 Bravo Mike, 3 mile final.
Okay, so
Skyhawk 273 Bravo Mike.
avionics coming off, lights coming off. Get the parking brake on. Pull the mixture. Turned off. That looks good. Yeah, Cafe really let itself go. All right, so that is just a little kind of slightly different entrance into the special flight rules transition and a nice little flight into Camarillo. In PilotEdge, it's just, I mean, it's a simple flight. It's a really easy, simple flight, and it works. It's just so great.